Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Naso. Naso means to elevate, to pick up, to lift. So this is actually a continuation to the previous parsha that starts off with the tribe of Levi. There were three families in the tribe of Levi: Gershon, Kahas, and Merari. So the previous parsha talks about one of the tribes, one of the families in the tribes of Levi, and it says Nasoi, elevate them and give them this position. And then it starts off this parsha again, Nasoi, elevate the next family and give them that position in the carrying and the involvement of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, the traveling temple. There were different job descriptions that each family had. And then when it comes to the third family, Bnei Merari, it doesn't say the words Nasoyas Roich, pick up their heads, lift them up, but it just says Bnei Merari, the family, the children of Merari, they will have the job to carry the krushim, the beams, and the poles, and the different parts of the actual structure of the Mishkan. So the Medrash explains, why is it that the third family did not get the word Rosh, Nasai Rosh, elevate them? And so the Medrash says like this: Chalak kavod lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The first two families, Hashem gave them honor. L'Kahas, for the family of Kahas, because they were carrying the ark in respect, and to honor the fact that they're carrying the ark, so they were called, pick them up, elevate them. Naso is Rosh. Gershon, the second family, since Gershon was the Bechor, he was the oldest of the family, so therefore they also had a certain level of prestige, and they received the title of Nasos Rosh, elevate them. However, the family of Merari, they did not have anything unique, but they were considered simple, and their job description was only to carry the krushim, the brichim, and adonim, which were basically, like we said before, the sticks, the beams, the poles. So therefore, le'nemar bahem Nasos Rosh. So therefore, by them, it doesn't mention this title of Nasos Rosh to elevate them, lift them up. So this is what the Medrash says. So the Medrash is saying that, but there's something obviously a little deeper than that, than what we see on the surface. Because are you saying that basically because he's a simple man, so therefore he doesn't get any titles? Or you only get titles if you're an elevated person, if you have prestige, and then otherwise you're not considered anything? I mean, the Torah doesn't look to exclude anybody. How the Torah do that? So the Rebbe gives an explanation. He says like this: when it comes to setting up and serving in the Mishkan, there were two necessities, there were two conditions that were necessary. One was that they were looking for the best, smartest people, that they should be the ones to build the Mishkan. Right? You had Betzalel, and you had, who was the second one? There was Betzalel, and there was somebody else that was with him, that they were very sophisticated. Hashem gave them, it says in the Torah, Hashem gave them the wisdom. Hashem gave them the wisdom, meaning in addition to the wisdom they had, they were infused with wisdom to be able to build a Mishkan. And then it comes to the fact that you also have to have, when it comes to the godliness, the spirituality, the Shekhinah, the divine presence of Hashem to rest inside of an edifice, in a place, and inside of you, you have to have humility. So there is two elements to something. There's to be sophisticated. You have to know what you're doing. But after you know what you're doing, are you boasting about it, or are you being simple about it? Are you being bittul, total nullification, accepting and knowing what's going on? So the first two, they represent the sophistication of the Mishkan. The Aron has a lot of things that's going on over there. The other parts of the Mishkan have things, but when it says to carry the beams, that it says the beams would stand, right? That represents the second level, that there has to be a certain level of humility. When it comes to davening, a person has to know he's standing before God. You have to be sophisticated. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know who you're standing in front of, who you're standing. You have to think about it. You have to get involved. But then there's the expression of the person. After you know what you're doing, you have to be total bittul. You're standing before Hashem. You're standing before Hashem. This is real stuff. You have to have a certain fear or reverence. So this really represents that the Bnei Merari, they weren't simple, that they didn't have any value. They were simple, that they were able to bring in this second level of total humility for Hashem. Hashem shall help, we should be able to acquire these two expressions, these two levels of being sophisticated, understanding what we're doing, and then after we understand that, we grasp it, we should be able to have this humility, true bittul to Hashem, and we'll be zeichet to the coming of Mashiach, when we will have the third temple, B'karav Mamish. Amen.